super fast, super quiet, supercomputer in an 8-inch cube. This is one I've been waiting to make for a very long time. I've been obsessed with this computer since I started my journey with vintage Apple products. Following the absolute hit of the first iMac in 1998, Apple was back in business and selling better than ever. This gave Steve Jobs even more room to let his ideas run wild through the vision of Johnny Ive, a man who helped get back Apple on track just as much as Mr. Jobs. So all hands on deck, Sir Ive and the Apple team embarked into what later turned out to be the most spectacular and beautiful flop in recent Apple history. Shortcomings aside, the Cube was a remarkable feat of engineering, crammed inside an elegant case. Jobs always liked compact and or cube-shaped things. You can see evidence of this in models like the original Macintosh computer or the similar Macintosh SE. But probably the main influence comes from another remarkable machine, the Next Cube. Released in the late 80s by the company that Steve Jobs founded while he was in the so-called exile from Apple, this almost unsuccessful computer attracted interest from mostly computer scientists and researchers. Nonetheless, it was the door for one of the most important creations of our contemporary history, the Internet.
What is it?
This, Jen, is the internet.
Next Cube was also the platform used by a small company called id Software to create a set of hits that today are the grandparents of all first-person shooter games: Doom, Doom 2, and Quake. Lastly, but not least, its operating system, the Next Step, laid the ground for what it would later become macOS 10, iOS, watchOS, tvOS, and audioOS. I am not joking, the DNA code for the original Next Step still runs through modern Apple devices' veins. With the power of a base PowerMac G4, the elegance and simplicity of an iMac, the PowerMac Cube came to fill a small gap between the two main lines of Apple desktop computers of the new century. This little beast came with a very simple but solid base configuration. Price would start at $17.99 and the monitor, sold separately, was $4.99 for the CRT version and $9.99 for the 15-inch cinema display. To put things in perspective, a base full-size PowerMac G4 from that time was around $15.99. This means a full-size computer with a slightly slower processor. But on the other hand, a high-end configuration for an iMac was only $14.99, which naturally included the monitor, and it will get you pretty much the same speed as with the Cube, for at least $700 less. This machine was set for failure since day one, but oh boy, what a spectacular failure.
We shipped a product called the Cube. It was a very important product to us. We put a lot of love into it. We put enormous engineering into it. It was an engineering marvel. It was a spectacular failure commercially. I mean, from the first day almost.
Some of the initial units had a manufacturing issue that led to cracks on the Cube's acrylic case. Not to mention some overheating issues because of the fanless design. After a mere 150,000 units were sold, Apple decided to pause the project indefinitely, just less than a year after its first release. Oh, did I not mention how you get inside this computer? Let me show you. I've never had so much fun tinkering with the insides of an Apple device like this before. After a proper cleaning, I was ready to start disassembling this amazing piece of technology. I mean, look at it, it's all so shiny and transparent and futuristic. The next step will be the healthy step, replacing the clock's battery. We don't want any leakages here, that would be just silly. I'm going for a simple solid-state drive on this one. Of course, the computer won't be able to take advantage of the full speed of it, especially with its IDE interface. But I'm planning a second upgrade with a FireWire SATA interface, so stick around for that exciting bit. I really wish Apple went back to letting people inside their computers without having to buy a Mac Pro and lose a leg in the process. The Cube is so easy to handle that I'm seriously considering getting a second one to try a Hackintosh upgrade, or just a Raspberry Pi or Atari, Commodore thing, Sega, whatever. While taking out the hard drive, I learned that I could remove the optical drive, given that it was one of those that wouldn't give back your DVD if you wanted to play a U2 concert or something like that. So I took it out, and maybe I'll try to repair it later, but for now it means that I'll have more space for my disc. This was super easy, so instead of showing how I install macOS 10 and macOS 9, I'm going to try something different. Why don't I go ahead and edit a video in this computer with the available software in 2001? The only exception is that I'll be shooting with my iPhone and later converting the videos to lower quality since I don't own a FireWire camcorder. Note to self, get a FireWire camcorder! Looks like we are ready to go. The upgrade worked perfectly and I managed to install both macOS versions without any kind of issues. This computer is painfully slow. Long are gone the days where I had to wait 30 minutes for a 30-second render. This was a clear reminder that we should be thankful for the technology today. Yo, what's up everyone? It's me, Mr. Arcadia. You got me like I'm cycling through the streets of a city. He's my friend, the Crow. His name is Brandon, LOL. I wanted to talk about the top 5 things to do with your iPod in 2001. Look at the ducks, quack, quack, quack. Amazing, super green, super ducks. The water, super wet. The best album I'm listening right now, Limp Bizkit, Hot Chocolate, Something Water, amazing, love it. 5 things to do with your iPod. Mine is broken, I don't know what happened, it was like tick 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 all morning and then it died. Look, more ducks, green, quack quack quack, a bag in the back, and beautiful. So 5 things you can do with your iPod today in 2001. 1. Listen to music and 1,000 songs, right? More ducks, beautiful. And number 2, oh, that's all the time we got for today. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, hit that bell, and I'll see you back next week when we're gonna talk about food. Goodbye. Ba-da-ba-bam, ba-da-ba-ba-bam, ba-da-ba-bam, ba-da-ba-ba-ba-bam, ba-da-bam, ba-da-ba-da-ba-ba-bam, bam-bam, ba-da-ba-da-bam. That's a copyright strike right there, buddy.